Can you believe that in just a few short years, you're going to need to find a job? Like a job. Dare I say, a career? Yeah, before you know it, it's going to be your turn. And it's best that you know all the tips and tricks on how to find a job. When looking for a job, first of all, you have to know of a job opening. There's several ways to find one. You can ask around, ask friends, hey, have you heard of such and such job? Or I'm looking for a job. Do you know somebody that's hiring? You could look for job openings by just driving around and looking for signs in windows. There's that, but gas is not cheap, so perhaps that isn't the best option. Online, that seems to be where it's at. Yeah. So today I'm going to show you, let's look at finding a job online. There's lots of different sites that you can use to find job openings, but for the assignment that you'll be doing, we're going to use two. We're going to use Monster.com and we're going to use Indeed.com. All right, let's look at Monster. It's pretty simple and straightforward and to the point. You don't have to sign up or anything to look for specific jobs. You just use the search box here. Once you get to Monster.com, we type in a keyword. So let's say we're looking for a position of a registered nurse. And let's say we're looking for that in, well, okay, Tyler, Texas. And it's a matter of just searching. So Monster.com searches and finds all the job openings for registered nurse in Tyler, Texas. And that's what it's looking for right now. It's searching and searching for job openings. In fact, it's searching so long, I'm beginning to think that perhaps either Monster, there we go. I was thinking it was not working. Look at this. It found 197 jobs that could be the right fit for me, and they're listed over here. Okay, so I could scroll down and you can read and see the different types of registered nursing positions that are available. I'll just pick a random. We'll go with this one, traveling nurse, RN. All right, let me click on this to see the actual job posting. So on the job posting, it depends on which company is posting the job, but it may look a little bit different. Typically, job postings are going to have job description and requirements. In other words, what am I going to be doing and what do I have to be in order to get the job? Notice that I need to start as soon as possible here. It's a med-surg position. I'll be on the job for only 13 weeks. This is a traveling nurse position, meaning I just move from hospital to hospital or nursing job to nursing job. I'll work 36 hours a week. I'll work 12-hour shifts, meaning I'm probably only going to work 3 days a week. And you can see here's the description of the job. And moving on down, this tells you about the company that you're working for. All right, so that gives me brief information at which point I could decide if I wanted to, apply for the job or move on to the next job listing. So that's how Monster.com is set up. There's also Indeed. We'll use Indeed, and we'll do the same search, registered nurse, and I'll just choose it from the pull-down menu that popped up. And this time I'll look for Tyler, Texas here as well and find jobs. All right, Indeed.com looks like they found 380 positions for me. Nice. Within 25 miles of Tyler, Texas. Up at the top, here's some filters that you could filter through and change up the results if you need to. You can scroll down and see different types of nursing positions that are available. I think I'll try this one, Registered Nurse Emergency Care. Let's click that. And so this is what Indeed.com looks like. It's got the name of the position here. It looks like I'll be an ER nurse for Christus Health in Tyler, Texas. The summary just tells you pretty much what I'll be doing if I were to obtain this job. Requirements, you can't just walk in off of the street and be a registered nurse. You actually have to have a license, at least an associate's degree, but they really like it better if you have a bachelor. That's what BSN stands for, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. They want you to be able to use a computer. Wait a minute, I'm a nurse. What are you talking about? A computer, a keyboard, and a mouse proficiently? Really? Yeah, that's because they do all their charting on computers. Good thing you're in this class. And you can see other affiliations that I might need in order to have this position. It is a full-time job. And that's the ad for this one. So that's how Indeed.com works. Now, from that point, once you have the position that you want to apply for, you're ready to move on to the job application. Now, I don't have a job application for Christus in Tyler, Texas, but pretty much all paper job applications look very similar. They ask the same types of information. And we'll be moving into doing job applications in the coming days. But this is an example of a job application. Actually, this is a job application for Walmart stores. And you can see here as pictured that it asks for all kinds of information, from what type of position that you're applying for to information about you, anything from your name to your email address, your social security number, your address, your phone number. How old are you? Your level of education, when are you available to work? It's actually 2 pages long. See, this is the second page. Here, it's wanting to know about your employment history. Where have you worked before? References. These are people who will say something good about you that they can contact, and it cannot be a relative. And then finally, signature. So job applications can come in the form of a paper application that you sit down with a pen and fill out, or you might find a job application online. This is pretty typical today. Most employers have gone to online employment applications, in which case you sit down at a computer or on some device that's connected to the internet, and you answer all the same questions that are on the paper applications, except that you're completing it using some form of technology. And you can see it looks really long, but it's actually the same exact questions as what we looked at on the paper application, and a place for a signature. And then, of course, you would hit submit, and it would submit it to the employer. All right, so you complete the job application, and I would like to be able to tell you that's all you have to do. But for some, if not most jobs, employers like to see something called a resume. Now, a resume is a one-page detail of where you've worked before, where you went to school, your skills, and it's not written in any kind of paragraph format. It's more of a listing of information about you. And as you can see here, this is an example of a resume. Your name and address and phone number and contact information go at the top. And then your job objective, your skills and abilities, your work experience, education, and references. And all of this fits on one page. And this is called a resume. And we'll be doing this in the coming days as well with more detail. To further add to your job seeking portfolio, you will also do a letter of application. A letter of application, if you can't tell it because we've already studied this is a block style letter. You could choose to do modified block style letter if you wish, but this is a letter of why you should hire me, basically. And it's written in a formal style. I should say it's typed in a formal style. And we will be doing this in the coming days. So you take your job application, you take your resume, and you take your letter of application, all of which could be provided either digitally or on paper, depending on what the employer seeks, and you turn it in to the employer, either digitally or on paper, and you wait for a phone call. You may never get a phone call. You do all of this work and they still don't call you back because maybe you don't meet the qualification requirements, or maybe they hired someone else. They liked them better just based on what they read. Why you don't get phone calls, I cannot tell you. I can tell you that if you do get a phone call and they schedule a job interview, that's a good thing. That means, hey, the employer liked what they read about you and they want to get to know more. So once you get to the job interview portion, then you are to the final steps. If you can succeed in the job interview, then the employer will hire you. But here's the thing. Some places require you do multiple job interviews. So you may find yourself having to come back for interview after interview, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, you will be hired. So that's pretty much the steps of how to acquire a job. First, you find a job opening. Then you fill out a job application, a resume, and a letter of application. And then, fingers crossed, you get that job interview that you've been waiting for. You go in, you do your absolute best, and you, my friend, will be employed. If you have any questions, let me know.